Oh, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to live coverage of baseball here on the Region Sports Network. We come to you today from the beautiful Hub City and Crown Point High School as the Portage Indians come into town to take on the Crown Point Bulldogs. Michael Brenner here on site for the play-by-play action, along with our sports director, the great Mike Dewan. Mike, good to be with you as you're our analyst today.
Always a pleasure, Mr. Bradner. It's a beautiful day for some Duneland baseball. Not a cloud in the sky, and it's always fun to come back to Crown Point High School and see all these renovations they got going on. It seems like they're always building something, and it's always super fun to be back here to cover a game.
Yeah, absolutely. These new facilities, this new the turf coming in here at Crown Point. Love it around these new facilities here at Crown Point High School. Can't beat that. A nice press box as well. We're not complaining about that either. Definitely a little spacious and room for us to be able to spread out if we wanted to a little bit. So always enjoy that. And then you got two teams here in two teams battling here today on the baseball diamond. You've got Crown Point and Portage coming up here. So for Crown Point, the home team, they got a 13-6 victory yesterday over the Portage Indians. And Crown Point kind of right now tied for second in the Duneland Athletic Conference when it comes to the conference record, coming in 7-2 on the year. So pretty impressive to keep that mark there. Chesterton also 7-2 on the year. Lake Central coming in third right now at 6-3, and leading the way is the Valparaiso Vikings in the Duneland Athletic Conference. So Vikings leading the way 8-1, very likely with a chance to win that Duneland Athletic Conference, but Crown Point's going to have something to say about that. They're looking for win number 8 here tonight.
These games, these Duneland Conference games, now that we're in May, they become ever so more important. And Crown Point, they've shown that they could hold their own against Valpo. I believe they split the season series against them. And, I mean, this conference is open as it ever has been in probably the past 5 years. And Crown Point, obviously, we're going to talk about them throughout the course of the game. But they're fielding a team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were to maybe take a share of that top spot.
Yeah, and if you got a Portage team coming in 4-5 on conference play so far this year, always looking to play a little bit of that spoiler because they know that, maybe they're not in the hunt to win the whole thing, but they can definitely, turn some heads and raise some eyebrows, that's for sure. And that's kind of the goal, I would think, at this point, is putting good at-bats together and just getting some wins and making things difficult for the opposing team.
If you're not, flirting with the top spot in the Duneland or in any conference, I think the best next position you could be is in spoiler, like the Portage Indians are today. And again, they're familiar with this Crown Point team. They played last night. They hung in there. It was a 13-6 victory for the Bulldogs, but nonetheless, Portage, I bet they're going to become ready to fight and, again, play spoiler and maybe shake up those rankings a little bit.
Portage is one of those teams that I feel like in a lot of ways, no matter what sport you're talking about, kind of on that rise. We've been watching that with a team like Hanover as well. Portage kind of on the rise in a lot of their sports in terms of kind of picking things up and getting maybe flirting with those conference titles later on down the road. Basketball, certainly one of those. It'll be fun to watch them this coming basketball season. You can see that in football as well. Just kind of, turning the tides. They're not spinning wheels. They're kind of moving in a positive direction, and baseball working in that way as well.
Definitely with them. Again, they finished 2023 9-20 and 4-10 in the conference. They have matched both those win totals this year so far. So, obviously something's turning the tide for Portage, and again, a win like this today would be super signature for this team.
All right, we're going to tune you into our national anthem. national anthem, getting you set for baseball here from the hub city, Crown Point, on an absolutely glorious day for baseball. Picture perfect. You got the high skies, as you mentioned, not a cloud in the sky to be seen. So it'd be interesting to see how some of those pop-ups play out. Let's go ahead and give you our starting lineup for the Portage Indians. It'll be Mark Kalmbacher to lead things off for the Indians in center field, followed by Connor Archer playing first base, as the wind kicking up here in the booth as well. So making things a little bit challenging for Papers to be able to stay tied down here a little bit.
We got our
That's right.
We got our paperweights, a couple baseballs in here.
Yeah,
and,
we got baseballs. Yeah,
a couple pens.
Let's keep on with that lineup. Devon Ortiz batting third, playing catcher. Kyle Ketchum, the DH. Batting in the cleanup spot today, Cody Young, the pitcher, in the 5 spot. In the 6 spot is Hunter Cole, the right fielder, followed by Ryan Bogue. In the 7 spot, playing third base, Mason Conrad, the left fielder, in the 8 spot. And then Matthew Crosstag, the shortstop, is going to round out that Portage lineup. A lot of guys going 1-4 or 0-4. Devon Ortiz was 2 for 4 in yesterday's game, so he's looking to stay hot in this lineup today against the defense of Leeming, Gibbs, Brazino, Cheriton at third, Ehrlich at short, Jidzi at second, and then Alexander at first. Horton behind the plate today for Aslan Farinelli. On the bump today, Leeming, Gibbs, and Brazino across the outfield from left to right defensively.
Just like that, we're playing ball.
We're ready to go.
To it. They move quick. Portage got here a little bit later than anticipated, but we sped things up, and we're ready for some doing the baseball action here.
Our game day forecast is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Today's forecast, a very comfortable 75 degrees, clear skies. And that's brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. So Kalmbacher from the right-handed batter's box will dig in there. And he will go up against Aslan Farinelli. First pitch in there for a called strike outside of the plate. Kind of tailing in there. Started kind of near the batter and tailed its way out to the outside part of the plate. Quickly 0-1 here. That one in there for a strike as well. So quickly 0-2 on Kalmbacher. 0 for 3 yesterday. Did have drive in an RBI for the Indians in yesterday's game over in Portage against these Crown Point Bulldogs. This one rocketed into center field. Going back on this one is Gibbs and making the catch out in right center.
Good at bat there from Kalmbacher. Yeah, he's kind of the senior leader on this Portage lineup, a 3-year starter, and obviously has some pretty nice splits, but worked a tough at bat, 0-2 count. A productive out, I'd say, popping out to a hard hit ball popping out to center field.
Yeah, I got to see a couple of pitches there and then hit one hard on the screws out to center, so got a little bit of a piece of it, but it'll be Connor Archer now with one away as count now 1-0. Archer 1 for 4 in yesterday's ball game. Batted .286 on the year. A couple of RBIs to his name. This one out to right field and out of play, so a souvenir for a fan somewhere down the road.
I think we got one ourselves in pregame. This is one of the balls we can grab from batting practice. And,
look at you.
Yep. Plenty of souvenirs around here.
I brought mine from home. I don't remember where I got it from, but it's one of the ones they use down there on the field.
Yep.
Fouled back to the screen quickly, 1-2.
Yeah, Portage, you're going to have to work some at-bats. I think the strength about this Crown Point Bulldog team, they got some pitchers. From what I saw, they have, I think, a couple pitchers that just have a lot of appearances and low ERAs. They could really pitch the ball well.
Lifted into shallow left center, and coming on and making the catch is Leeming. So quickly 2 away here. You have Farinelli, 6 appearances on the year. This is appearance number 7 already here as we hit the calendar now to May. 4-0 on the year with a 1.11 ERA coming into this one. That'll drop a little bit here and there. As quickly 2 away in the top of the first inning here. 25 and a third innings pitch, 16 hits, 8 runs, only 4 earned, 10 walks. But here's a crazy number, 40 strikeouts on the year, and he gets 0-1 here on Ortiz. 339 on the year, 6 extra base hits. To his credit, has driven in 16. That one inside, so 1-1 the count now on Ortiz.
Having someone like Ortiz behind the dish, obviously very productive on the defensive side, but if he could swing the bat and bat third and be that as productive, it's super valuable.
Well, and, if you figure most catchers don't have many stolen bases to their name, he's got 5.
That's impressive. You don't see many catchers moving like that.
No, not so much. Some do. At this level, it may be more so than at the levels we're maybe used to watching a little bit more, but
they're more worried about throwing out batters, stealing bases, not stealing some of their own bases. So that's kudos to him for sure.
Correct. 3-1 the count here to Ortiz. Trying to work the first base runner of the day. Now it's a full count as that's heading into some of the construction out here to our right.
Plenty of it. Walked through a lot of it to get here. It's, again, a lot of stuff happening at this athletic complex here, and it's truly exciting, again, to come to every game and see how progression's going around here.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I've called a game here from Crown Point. I don't think I did one last year, but so maybe about a year and a half ago. As that's going to be ball 4, first base runner of the day for the Portage Indians. But yeah, just to kind of see where things have stepped up, and it's great to see a community start to really rally around. And that's we've talked about the upswing in sports in Portage, certainly an upswing here in Crown Point as well. The hub city has really the whole community has really bought into all of these players, as we will have a courtesy runner.
I believe that's number 17. We can get a name for you shortly. I believe we got Caleb Hacker out there.
Caleb Hacker,
the courtesy runner.
Keeping him away from my computer.
You and me both.
So Kyle Ketchum. Sorry, I'm still in school mode, so those
still got
silly jokes.
The witty puns, that's what makes you great, Mike.
That's what my kids just love it. 1-0 here to Ketchum. 0 for 3 in yesterday's ball game, looking to get something going here against this Crown Point pitching that you mentioned, Mike, has been really good this season.
Yeah, as a team, they have a 2.12 ERA, and that's 4.36 to Portage. So that's a huge difference, and that's what gotten them to a 14-4 record so far.
And one of the things to always kind of keep an eye on is pitching from the windup versus pitching from the stretch. So see how different that may go for Farinelli. 2-0. This one ticketed out to right center, and this will be caught on a dive from Brazino. Early candidate for our proud Union Home play of the game, as he catches that one on a line into right to end any threat from Portage. We've got the replay for you, I believe, from the replay master, Zach Miller, doing good work over there. But we're going to go to the bottom of the first. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. Mike Brenner here along with Mike Dewan. Got that replay for you queued up again here as Brazino laying out to make that catch out and right there are some of the best hands in the business, just like the Bricklayers Local 4, Indiana, Kentucky. Join Bricklayers Local 4 and start building your career today. Visit baclocal4.org to find out more. All right, we head to the bottom of the first inning, and we have the Crown Point Bulldogs coming up here, leading off and pitching today, Aslan Farinelli, followed by Noah Ehrlich and Austin Leeming at the top of the lineup. In the middle, in the cleanup spot, the DH Logan Cotton, followed by Christian Brazino, made that nice catch out there, and then Chase Horton, the catcher. Linus Cheriton the third baseman, followed by Billy Chidsey, and then Trevor Gibbs. Trevor Gibbs to round things out, playing center field for the Bulldogs today. Conrad, Kalmbacher, and Cole from left to right in the outfield. Bogue, cross tag, De Gracia, and then Archer from third to first with Ortiz behind the plate for Cody Young in his 6th appearance on the season. 1-3 on the year with a 3.00 ERA. Walks have been an issue for him this year. Not on that pitch, though, to Farinelli. First pitch strike. He's got 24 walks to 18 strikeouts, does Young on the season. So something he's going to be trying to correct here on a beautiful day for baseball. As the count evens at 1. Farinelli was 0 for 2 in yesterday's game, but he had 3 walks to his name as well. So for a guy who pitches a lot of walks and a guy who takes a lot of walks, apparently. 2-1. The count here to Farinelli.
Cody Young, a name you might recognize on the gridiron. He has been Portage's starting quarterback for the past 2 seasons. Only a sophomore. Very talented on the gridiron as well as he is on the bump here today.
This one fouled back right to the screen, getting a little piece of it, trying to watch any movement that might be had on any of these pitches today from Young. Things still flying in the broadcast booth, but we're okay with that.
Yeah, it's all right.
I don't mind a breeze.
We like wind. It's getting hot here, man. It's the tide's turning. Summertime.
2-2 on the ground, third base side. Bogue across the diamond a little high, but the catch is made by Archer over at first. Never a doubt. 5-3 on the putout. This will bring up Noah Ehrlich, another quarterback.
Little quarterback v. quarterback. Yeah, Noah Ehrlich, of course, he committed to Miami, Ohio. They call it the real Miami. Again, obviously a fantastic quarterback here as well in the Duneland, and these guys are going to be not only familiar with each other right now, but they're going to be familiar come with each other in the fall, so on Fridays.
Not sure. I'll have to double check and see if that game for football season is going to be at Portage or here at Crown Point.
That should be here. I know they were at Portage last year. So
okay, so it'll be here at Crown Point. First pitch in there for a strike on the left-handed hitting Noah Ehrlich, who was also 0 for 3 in yesterday's game. Didn't draw a walk. 8 RBIs on the year, along with 6 stolen bases. We know he's got some wheels. This one popped up on the right side. DeGracia out in right, and it drops in, and it's going to roll for a little bit. Ehrlich going to make a stand-up double here on the right side. That one kind of tailing out into shallow right center, and DeGracia just couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, again, that swirling wind, again, in combination with looking at the sun, that really battles you out there for the infielder. Again, it's maybe not the most quality at bat there for Ehrlich, but it's, a hit's a hit. If that's what you call it, if that's what you score it, nonetheless, he's on base, and they're threatening right now.
I'd say, did it hit the glove? I feel like maybe that does have to be an error.
I would have to agree.
We're going to go E4 on that one. Yeah, for sure. All right, everybody else in the press box is going that way.
Yeah, I like to be generous too, but that's a tough one to field. Pop flies are no joke, especially with wind like this. But it is what it is. Got to see what Young could do, battling out of this tough situation he's now in.
So Austin Leeming here at the plate, swung on and missed. Count evens at 1.
Leeming, arguably the hottest bat here in this Crown Point lineup so far this season, a .390 average, 23 hits, 16 RBIs, and went 2 for 5 yesterday, along with driving in 2 runs.
This one on the ground, but it will be foul to the third base side. More action around the DAC today as well. You've got Chesterton over at Lake Central. That should be a good one from St. John. Then you got Valpo taking on Maryville and LaPorte taking on Michigan City.
A lot of pre-sectional kind of matchups. We're going to probably talk about the sectionals with these both teams are, and they'll be here, but it's a lot of teams getting familiar with each other.
Into left center. On it, though, is Kalmbacher to make the catch. Ehrlich will have to drop back to second. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mike.
No.
Blame Leeming. He hit it.
Ball, yeah, true. Good call. We'll throw it there, but yeah, about the sectionals again for Crown Point, they'll be here as well as Portage. Crown Point will match up with Valpo on the 22nd in the first round. That's going to be a fantastic one that I hope we'll probably be here for, and then Winner of that plays KV Chesterton. Then the championship would be either Lowell or Portage. Portage got a first-round bye, and they'll match up with Lowell. And then, again, that could be, we could be seeing both these teams again in the championship round, knock on wood, for either Portage or Crown Point here. But it's, it could be a real possibility.
Now, I will admit that I have not looked at every one of the matchups for opening rounds of sectionals, but I do recall hearing, as this one also laced out into right, this will touch down and roll all the way to the wall. Ehrlich already coming around. He will score, and Cotton is on with a RBI double to get the scoring started for the Bulldogs.
Cotton, he'll find himself in Bloomington in about a few years. Again, getting the DH today, but he's also one of those fantastic pitchers that the Bulldogs have to offer. But he just roped one into that deep outfield, 377 out to left and right center. It's he's a tank. He's a tank, and obviously Bloomington sees that in him too.
RBIs in back-to-back games, give him 6 on the year, and I also bring up Brazino, the right fielder, made that really nice catch to end any threat that Portage had in the top half of this inning. Batting from the left side, on the ground to the right side. As I was saying, I feel like somebody was telling me that a lot of the first-round matchups are matchups that, maybe some people would prefer to see maybe in the championship game. Obviously, it's a blind draw from the IHSAA, so no predetermined matchups, but it's just a lot of really marquee matchups to get things started. Schools that might be some of the favored teams to, maybe if you have 2 favored teams to win a sectional. Obviously, Crown Point would be one of them here, and then you've got teams like Valpo as well. You said these two, Valpo and Crown Point meet.
They will meet in the first round.
Those are 2 teams that very well could be in that championship game. Chesterton going to make a case for that as well. This one lifted in the air to center. Kalmbacher coming in and makes the catch for the final out of the inning. But Crown Point does scratch a run across the board, so it's 1-0 CP as we go to the second. You're watching Game Day here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. We go to the top of the second. We've got a Region replay for you by the replay master, Zach Miller, working the production today. He's jamming out here to the music here at Crown Point as well. He's living the life over there, man. He is one happy camper.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Well, yeah, it's a beautiful day for baseball. We're here.
Again, man, it's about that time. It's May already. Obviously, playoff baseball is going to happen at the end of the month. It's all good vibes here.
Some people call this Justin Timberlake Day as well.
Yeah,
it's going to be.
We're
going to go to the second inning now. I'm going to move on from that.
Good old Mr. Bradner, the teacher, back at it. Never off the clock.
The pitcher, Cody Young, steps in.
Trying to help his cause.
Lines this one right back to the screen. Farinelli back on the bump as well.
But yeah, like you and I were talking at the break, again, the sectional matchup. So we have Hanover and Andrean starting, I think, that 3A sectional at Highland. It's like those were probably the 2 best teams in that sectional. It's unfortunate. It's the way it is. But what can you do? I mean, you still got to. You're going to run through that team anyway. You got to take care of business. For us, the viewers, yeah, we could be maybe a little selfish. We want to see them on the biggest stage, but
and that comes in and that plunks Cody Young. So he will take his base. But you know what, Mike? I totally agree with you, and I understand what you're saying. Like I said, I agree with that point. Yeah, you want to see the best teams in that championship game. However, now this gives opportunity to in respect to maybe a team that could have been eliminated earlier. Now they have a chance to we have another chance to make it to a championship game that, maybe we wouldn't have normally seen in a situation. So, and it gives kind of a little bit of an opportunity to some of those kids who, if they're looking for a championship, and it could be in their senior season as well, and they get to have that special story and memory as another throw over to first base, not in time.
And everybody loves a good Cinderella story. I know it's not March anymore, but everybody loves, if maybe a team, again, it's a game like baseball, the bats could be hot one day and your pitcher could be just throwing a gem. You never know what could happen in this sport, and I totally agree with you on that too.
Well, and the thing too is that you got to remember these games. Once you get to the postseason, it's sudden death. I mean, it's not you're not playing series at that point to try to win. It's winner take all in that game. And if you're, I was talking about this. I was over at Lake Central Munster in their first night game over there, and I was talking to some of the fans, and they were even talking about some of the moms who were watching their kids pitch. You might have your ace on the mound, and if that ace or even just that pitcher just for whatever reason isn't on that day, that's a lot of pressure to hold on to. And if you're not on that day, your team's going to struggle in a lot of ways, no matter what pitcher you're talking about.
And I mean, games leading up to those huge games, again, pitcher management is so important. Again, how many pitches your guy throws. You got to really kind of look ahead as much as you want to stay in the present and beat the team in front of you. You got to kind of manage your guys, and I hope you kind of put the guys in the right spots.
Swing and a miss for Hunter Cole down on strikes. First strikeout of the game for either side. And now this will bring up Ryan Bogue, the third baseman. Didn't play in yesterday's game. At least I didn't see it in the box score for Ryan Bogue. .194, a couple of extra base hits, 9 RBIs on the year. That first pitch in there for a strike. Again, outside part of the plate. From our vantage point, maybe just giving a little on the edges,
he likes
which I'm
it.
fine with. It's consistent. That's all we ask for.
That's right. He likes it. He wants to, you kind of put the umpire in a tough position to make a call. And, hey, if he's keep calling it, why not? Why stop throwing it?
Yeah, I have no problem giving a little in or out or up or down, but as long as it stays consistent, which we've seen so far. Because one of the things that baseball that people have been clamoring for is just a little bit more excitement, a little bit more offense. So, like sometimes if you can expand the zone a little bit, kind of forces guys to swing a little bit.
And I think the rule changes now in the bigs are already has make the game a lot more exciting. Again, we could spend a whole broadcast talking about those rule changes, but it's a changed game to say the least in the past few years.
Well, Nate and I kind of talked about it. It was just blatantly evident when we were over at the Steel Yard. And so far, not really. You haven't noticed it in this one as much. These pitchers are working pretty quickly here, but obviously there's no pitch clock, no time limit on or anything like that when it comes to high school games. As back-to-back strikeouts for Farinelli here. But just the speed of the game in general, and a lot of that has to do with attention spans and what people are watching and going through stuff like that. So this is Mason Conrad here, the left fielder.
Yeah, me personally, I'm part of that generation that my attention span's kind of like a goldfish. But if I'm buying a ticket and if I'm at a baseball game, I don't want it to end. But if I'm watching a game, whatever, then that's a different part of the different end of the spectrum. But that's just me.
Farinelli really getting in the groove here. Back-to-back strikeouts. That first pitch for a strike. We talked about that in game 2, how important that is right on the first pitch for a strike to the batter. Kind of what it does to the mindset right away here. And we worked some deep counts. I'd say Portage has worked some good at-bats throughout this first time through the lineup. So they'll have Matthew cross-tag to get in that number 9 spot before we get back to the top of the lineup. But some good at-bats so far. Still trying to scratch a run across the board, but it's early. Only top of the second here in the Hub City.
Plenty of ball left. That's for sure.
Pitch missing outside, so 2-1 the count here. Again, Crown Point won it yesterday, 13-6 in 7 innings. Logan Cotton had himself a pretty good day on the bump. 6 innings, giving up 2 hits, 1 run that wasn't earned.
Haven't seen
walking 10 strikeouts.
Haven't seen any action on the base pass yet. Crown Point doesn't steal too much. They only have 24 stolen bases. Portage has about, I want to say that number is at about 50, double that. So as I say that.
Swing and a miss. Throw down to second is in time. And 2-6 on the putout to get Young stealing second. So we will go to the bottom of the second inning. You're watching Game Day here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Save for a healthy tomorrow with an HSA checking account from Tech Credit Union. It's a tax-advantaged way to save and pay for healthcare expenses. You'll enjoy no setup fee, no annual fee, and easy access to funds. Plus, you'll earn a better-than-competitive dividend rate, currently at 2.27% APY. Visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call 800-276-8324 to learn more. Tech Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Rates may change without notice.
Welcome back to Game Day here on the Region Sports Network. Mayor Pete Land and the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog athletics. And say go Bulldogs! Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth. Registration is now open for our spring and summer 2024 Crown Point athletics programming. For a complete list of adult and youth activities, visit crownpoint.in.gov. A lot of stuff going on around Crown Point. A lot of opportunities for young and old. Even pickleball courts out there and near those fields we were at for the Cal Ripken World Series.
Yeah, I don't know about my opinion on pickleball. We're at a baseball game. But
sorry, you don't know your own opinion on this?
Pickleball courts, man. I don't know. I guess there's a
you
time
clearly
and
haven't
place for
played.
Talking about this.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I love it.
But when you're tearing down like basketball courts for it, like there's one by my house.
I'm all for it.
And I'm like, come on, man, leave the hoops up.
Because even fat old guys like me can play.
That's don't sell yourself short.
First pitch into Chase Horton is outside for ball one. Made a nice throw down to second base to get out number one.
I believe that was a great tag by Ehrlich, too. Was playing short there.
Yeah,
applied the tag nicely.
On that. Yeah, absolutely. By the way, when I made my derogatory comment about myself, I saw Zach Sinelli out there turn around and he was laughing at me. I could tell.
Because he knows it's a joke.
He's like,
you know you're selling
yourself
short.
That pitch in there for a strike, 2-1. I'm guessing he can hear me. He's just choosing to ignore me at this point. Oh, now he's shaking his head. Okay. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the ground, right side, picked up by DeGracia over to first. Close play, but in time. Took his time to kind of gather himself there, make a strong, solid throw.
Both these teams are pretty similar average-wise with the bat. I want to say if there's maybe more of a weakness, I want to say the pitching has definitely been a little bit better than some of the bats for both these teams. For Portage, they bat 267 as a team going into this game, and Crown Point a little bit better at 288. Obviously, Crown Point, they have the pitching to fall back on Portage. They're hoping to kind of get those bats going and maybe some lack of pitching like Crown Point does.
Linus Cheriton on here now. The third baseman today was 0 for 2 yesterday with an RBI and a walk. Missing upstairs. So 2-0 the count here. Now we talked about those high skies, that no white clouds in the skies, but there's some creeping over now, which is all right. We don't want to see any gray ones, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
That's staying away from this area.
I think the rain has eluded us this week on our games we're potentially covering, so that's a big plus.
Right down Main Street for a strike on 3-0.
That's what April's for anyway. April showers bring May flowers, so let's keep it that way. Yeah.
There you go. Ready to go here. Kicks and fires a 3-1, and it's in there on the outside part of the zone for a strike.
Way to battle back by Young. It was a 3-0 count. Obviously, odds were against his favor, but he's battled back, and now huge payoff pitch here to get a second out, hopefully.
Yeah, Young with that front foot kind of crossing over, standing near that third base side of the rubber, and gets him on a strikeout. As you mentioned, Mike, Adam 3-0, comes back and gets him on 3 straight pitches for the strikeout. Really impressive work there from Cody Young.
A lot of poise by the sophomore. It's always fun to see, again, these guys come up at a young age and perform against some top-level talent. And it's cool to see, for sure. Sophomore, obviously, pretty decent start so far.
The lefty in the lineup here for Crown Point, Billy Chidsey. Second baseman, 2 for 4 in yesterday's game. Breaking ball missing outside. 1-0. Don't forget the conclusion of this one. We will have the Crow Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. Crow Companies are proud to recognize the superheroes on the baseball diamond. This one chopped on the ground. Right side. DeGracia gets it there in time for the 1-2-3 here in the second. Just what Young needed to get his bats back up to the third inning. We go to the third. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Planting a tree, installing a fence, whether your project is big or small, NIPSCO reminds you to know what's below and contact 811 at least 2 full business days before doing any digging so that utility companies can mark the location of their underground lines. Contacting 811 is free and it's the law. Avoid possible penalties, costly repairs, or injuries. DIY or a pro, safety is in your hands. Every dig, every time.
We go to the third inning here on the Region Sports Network. Our sports director, Mike Dewan, still complaining about pickleball here in the off-the-air conversations. He's mad about taking down basketball courts. He's sticking to this.
I'm a hooper, man. I may not look like one, but I'm a hooper, man. You can't take down basketball courts, but hey, everyone's got a hobby. You know, if it keeps the elderly going, get them out on their feet. You know, I respect it. But,
hold on now. Wait a minute. I wouldn't throw myself into the elderly category. Hold on now.
I'm not saying you are.
All right, everybody. You can reach our sports director at 219.
Please, no.
Go to the third inning here at Crown Point. Conrad back up to the plate. He'll get a fresh count here as he was the batter when we had a throwdown to second base to end the inning. So he gets another crack at this one here with Matthew Crosstag, and then back to the top of the lineup with Mark Kalmbacher. The scheduled hitters here in this inning. For the Portage Indians, that pitch in there for a strike, so quickly 0-2. Farinelli doing quick work here. That's what Conrad's going to do here. Going to kind of break that up a little bit, stop the rhythm if he can, steps out for a moment. Jumps back in, the 0-2 pitch is upstairs. So you mess with him a little bit there.
It irks you a little bit. Again, when you're on the bump, you want to keep things rolling. You want to stay in your motion, and anything like a little bat or timeout, that'll work you a little bit.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3. 3 in a row. Now batting for the Indians is going to be number 1 for Farinelli.
Yeah, they are. Again, they got a nice rotation going on. They're great in the field, too, Crown Point is. From what I saw in Max Preps, they had a .955 fielding percentage. So if a ball does get hit someone's way, they're most likely making a play out in the field. So.
Yeah, those numbers are not very high for Crown Point around defensively. First pitch, strike in there to Crosstag, the shortstop. 0 for 1 with a couple of walks yesterday. 0-1 pitch. That one missing outside and low for a ball to even it up, 1-1. Appreciate you guys tuning in here on a beautiful day for baseball. Portage and Crown Point, little DAC action for you. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, he's working. He wants to get ahead of the count. He wants to keep going. He must have some homework to do after the fact. He's not messing around here.
Homework for sure. Well, we are getting near finals season, and down on strikes goes Crosstag. 4 strikeouts now for Farinelli. We said Cotton had 10 in yesterday's ball game. So this is now 44 strikeouts on the year for Farinelli, according to our stats on Max Preps.
I mean, they're lethal. I wonder who they're going to start in that first game of sectionals against Valpo. It's a good problem to have.
Ground ball right side. Alexander going to race to the bag. Gets that foot on the cushion for the final out of the inning of 3 unassisted. We go to the bottom of the third. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
The Athletic Performance Factory is Northwest Indiana's premier athletic training center. The 40,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility features batting cages, a sand training room, a new outdoor turf infield, and so much more. Check out the facility for one of their daily classes at 3150 45th Street in Highland. Interested in signing up for team workouts or individual lessons? Check out their website at trainapf.com or contact them at 219-750-1087. Athletic Performance Factory, where athletes are made.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Going to the bottom of the third, trying to get Mike Dewan from drifting away here in the Hub City.
Gotta love some Uncle Cracker.
Gotta love it. Little Strecky Van Til hometown scoreboard update for you. More DAC action around Northwest Indiana. Lake Central hosting the Chesterton Trojans. Lake Central up 1-0 on the Trojans right now.
They'll open up with Munster at the Munster sectional. So again, another game where two talented teams that you typically would see in the later rounds, but it is what it is. LC, that'd be a big win for them. I know they dropped last night, and they're kind of also battling for that top spot in the DAC. It's been an unfamiliar season for the Tribe as of late, but there's still some time to play. So,
first pitch into the leadoff hitter for the third, Trevor Gibbs, and leads off this third inning. Then back to the top of the lineup with Farinelli and Ehrlich for Crown Point here in the bottom of the third. Breaking ball missing just inside. So 2-0 here from Young.
Trevor Gibbs, another footballer here on Coach Buzz's team, a fantastic middle linebacker / ace back. He's kind of getting college looks, I think, for his play on the gridiron. So one of the many dual sport athletes on that football, just in Crown Point in general. There's so many dual sport athletes, and I know they push that like no other school does.
3-0 pitch. Misses inside, so a leadoff walk here in the third might open up the door for some more offense here from Crown Point. They lead at 1-0. Put up 13 in yesterday's ball game against this Portage Indians team. Yeah, we talked about the Duneland a little bit. Like you said, Lake Central kind of in unfamiliar territory, losing 3 conference games already this year. They did not lose a conference game at all last year. They were the first team under the current configuration of the Duneland to go undefeated in conference play. Not an easy thing to do. Runner down to second, and in safely is Gibbs with the stolen base, his third of the year. You always question sometimes when they start to pop up. Do they come off the bag? Does the tag stay on? Will the umpire give it to them?
The old hidden ball trick, too. Always got to stay on the bag. No sneaky business here.
The 0-1 to Farinelli in there for a strike, so quickly 0-2.
Farinelli again looking to help his cause, obviously doing a fantastic job on the bump, but he wants to add a couple more insurance runs to maybe give himself the W.
So runner in scoring position, nobody out. This one lifted in the air to left. Drifting to his left, or to his right, is Conrad. Makes the catch in left, and that'll be out number 1. Thought maybe that one might get out into foul territory, but it does stay in. And hey, NIPSCO is proud to be powering the youth of Northern Indiana. NIPSCO is wishing its Northern Indiana high schools to have safe competition while displaying sportsmanship on and off the field.
How about our coaches here? Portage is led by Shane Prance. This is his alma mater. He's a Portage Indian graduate. He teaches PE and health. He played at formerly Purdue Calumet, now PNW, and he played for the Schaumburg Boomers. And then he came back here. He coached at Purdue North Central before they merged, and now he's back at his alma mater.
You know, I remember talking during basketball season about that. We get a lot of, there's a lot of pride in Portage and a lot of guys wanting to come back and playing for their alma mater. This seems to happen a lot in Portage specifically.
I see it a lot more. I feel like I see it a lot more in baseball, too. I mean, just at baseball and softball, you see a lot of coaches that, again, are at their alma mater. Again, they care a lot for this program. Obviously, they've most likely played, and it's just a game that you just fall in love with at whatever age, and you want to coach it and, just give back to the school that gave to you when you were playing.
Couldn't agree with you more, and it's awesome to see. This one fouled back to the screen, and then, of course, you got Coach Strayer over there for the Crown Point Bulldogs.
Yeah, he's been
long-time coach here.
Been at it for about 20 years, recent inductee to the Indiana High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. I believe that was 1 or 2 years ago. He's got 650-plus wins, multiple championships, regional, sectional, conference, and he teaches stats and geometry at Crown Point.
Those are the easy classes. In foul territory, and it can't be caught in foul territory over there.
I wouldn't call those easy.
No, absolutely not. No math class is easy, in my opinion.
That's why I'm a communications major, so I don't have to take, as Zach Miller gives us the thumbs up, the fellow communications major, so we don't have to take any math classes.
That's why I teach social studies.
Yeah, I mean, once they started throwing letters in the equations,
once
it's
you
like
mix the alphabet and numbers, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm good. Square root this, whatever.
This one lined into right, and it will hang up on the dive. Oh no, they say dropped it. Okay, so he dropped it out in right as Cole. So runners will advance. So Gibbs now to third on the single from Ehrlich. Are we ruling that a single, or is that going to be an error in right? Single, all right. I mean, battling the sun kind of in your eyes there. Yeah. It's kind of tough.
He dropped to a knee pretty quickly out there on right. I think he could have maybe tried to run through it instead of dropping to a knee and trying to catch it, almost on the ground. But a well-hit ball by Ehrlich again. His second time on base. His first time was that pop fly to second that dropped in the outfield. So, and Crown Point really threatening here.
Very close to that same area where.
Just about.
So 2 drop balls allowing Ehrlich to get on base. Error the first time, single the first time. This is Austin Leeming now who lined into center his last time up.
I think Ehrlich was on the go there. I don't know if, again, this team doesn't steal much. We saw Gibbs got their 25th stolen base of the year for the team, but they could try a double steal here with Ehrlich. We just saw him. Did you see there? They're going to send him, yep.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to get that stolen base. Ortiz was thinking about maybe throwing down and then gave it right back to Young. So runners at second and third, only one out in the inning here. Leeming with an opportunity to score a couple if he can. He's got 16 RBIs on the year. Like to get a little bit closer to 20. Golden opportunity here. On the ground, left side. Runner gets back to second. The throw to first is in time. They throw over to third, and it won't be in time. But a run does come across the board.
Doing your job, and I like the aggressiveness there by Ehrlich to, once they threw it to first, he good base running there to take a bag at third. And, again, that's CP's second run of the game, and this is another hot bat that had a rope out to right center earlier.
He did indeed. Logan Cotton pitched a gem of a game yesterday, now on the DH here today. This ball gets away, and a run will score. And just like that, 3-0 Crown Point here in the third.
Yeah, I can't let this get to it. I mean, games could change like that. Again, it's you got to stay back, get back locked in if you're young, and then try and get this out here and get the bats back up.
So now with nobody on base, Young with 2 outs. That one gets away. So 2-0, but there's no threat there because there's nobody on base now at that point. So in this kind of situation here, you can kind of work a little bit. Obviously, you're still trying to make competitive pitches to get out of the inning, but you can maybe if there was a pitch that maybe you're trying to get something to work here, this would be an opportunity here to maybe work and trying to get a little something. This one on the ground, left side. That's a fair ball. The throw across from Bogue over to first is in time, and that'll get the final out of the inning. But Crown Point plates 2, so it's 3-0 CP as we go to the 4th. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
How far would you go to live another game night in the region? Well, lucky for you, you don't have to go far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of over thousands of games, ranging from last week to the 1960s. Now, you can relive the thrilling victories, heartbreaking defeats, and all the things that make Region Sports so great. Talk to us here at RSN and help us remember the region. Please visit Remember the Region with the link on the screen or through our link tree found on all of our social media platforms. Hashtag Remember the Region.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. We go top of the 4th inning. We've got awards we're going to hand out at the conclusion of this one. We already mentioned the Crown Company's Landerman Superhero of the game. There's also the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the game. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. And then, of course, we've got the Proud Union Home Play of the Game presented by the Region Sports Network. And if you, yes, you are a trade union representative and are interested in sponsoring the Proud Union Home Play of the Game, please call Chris Ramirez at 219-588-1984. Do it right now. He's waiting for your call. He's standing by. He's literally staring at his phone right now, waiting for someone to call him.
He might be watching this. Probably. What's up, Chris? Hopefully he's getting a call pretty soon.
He's too busy staring at his phone. He can't be bothered right now.
That's a good
He's waiting
point.
for
That's
a phone call.
Could have 2 phones.
Company phone and then personal phone?
That's right. Like that one. Yep.
This one on the ground. Missed by Farinelli. Over to first in time, though, from Chidzi, from Archer there. So Archer is down. So that'll be we'll call that a 1-4-3 put out.
Yeah, right. I don't. Yeah, we could bring it up. I guess the lone base runner so far has been a hit by pitch.
We had a walk in the first.
We did have a walk. Yep. That's why we have 2 pairs of eyes here. Still, nonetheless, he's doing well out there on the bump. Farinelli again. This Crown Point rotation they are lethal, and they are arguably the reason why they are where they are at today.
Last 6 have been retired from Farinelli, which is what Mike was trying to allude to, is that there's been a lot of non-base runners coming on here recently for Portage. Really getting into that groove is Farinelli. First pitch strike, missing outside now, a ball and a strike. Yeah, those 6 retired, 4 of them have been via the strikeout.
That's always the fun way to do it.
If you're the pitcher.
Yeah.
Of course, the defenders want to, make dazzling plays out there on the field.
A couple web gems, they call it.
Yeah.
We've had a couple today, a couple hard hit balls to the outfield. That play at third by Bogue was a nice backhand snag to get Portage out the inning.
Count evens at 2 here on Ortiz, who took a walk. One of those few base runners that Portage has been able to muster here today so far. 2-2 on the ground, left side, that it will be a foul ball. I actually didn't see a signal from the umpire, and I was assuming it just went foul, but sometimes from a vantage point, you never know 100%.
It definitely looked pretty close.
It was very, very close to that line.
No action in the bullpens yet. I know we are, about 4 innings of play. I'm going to keep an eye out for that as we get, later into the game. Pitch counts get higher. Drop third.
A little drop third strike right there. So that'll be out number 2.
Next up for the innings, designated hitter, Kyle Ketchel.
I think I got 6 Ks right now for Farinelli.
That's what I've got.
All righty.
Of course, I'm looking right now. Bear with me. Yep, okay. So I originally wrote just a 1 in my scorebook here for his number, so I started panicking for a slight moment that we've been calling the wrong name. But no, we're good. We're on it.
That would be unfortunate.
That would be very much like me at this point in the year. Kyle Ketchum at the plate right now. Takes that one outside, so 2-0 on Ketchum, who had that line drive into right. Looked like Portage may start a little bit of a rally in that first inning, and then Brazzino said, nope, not today, or at least not this inning right now. 2-0 pitch coming just inside, makes him stand up straight.
Good start of the at-bat here. You know, let's see if Farinelli, he's got it in this position before, and he's battled back. Let's see if I expect a challenge pitch here.
In there for a strike, so 3-1 now. 0 for 4 in this series between these two schools who don red as their primary colors. 3-1. Full count now, as you mentioned, yeah. Been in the situation 3-0 and then comes back and gets the out. Fouled off to the right. Jumping back in. Sorry, Mike.
No, I was just going to say, got to protect here. Obviously, this is a battle you want to win on either side. So,
payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Down on strike. 6 strikeouts in the game for Farinelli. 8 retired in a row as well. As we go to the bottom of the 4th, it's Crown Point 3, Portage nothing. You're watching Game Night here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til. When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual card, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. We got the Mike and Mike show working right now.
And 2 Zachs.
Yeah, we got Mike and Mike and Zach and Zach.
Zach Sinelli behind the lens, Zach Miller behind the computer. All-star cast, as they would say today. Always a pleasure working with these gentlemen. And, again, always fun being out here, too. This is, I keep mentioning, but it's always fun to see this kind of work in progress. A lot of schools around the area from, doing, these 100-yard interviews and other things we've been doing, a lot of money is going into athletic programs all across the region, and it's truly awesome to see communities jump in and really buy into what that school has to offer.
Yeah, Crown Point has definitely been one of those communities for sure here. Bottom of the 4th, leading things off. Brazzino lifts one down the left field line, and this will be a foul ball down that left field line. Or do they call it a fair ball? Nope, it'll be a foul ball, so he'll round second there and make that trot from second to home. Oh, he went on the bump. Is that a no-no for some pitchers?
Kind of an unwritten rule is what they would say. Good catch there, yeah.
Would you do that? Would you break those unwritten rules?
I think some of them are a little overdone. like, don't bunt or don't steal when you're up, so many runs or whatever. And I'm like, come on.
I think it depends on which team you're rooting for.
Or don't swing the bat when you're down, when you have a 3-0 count and a position player's pitching and you're up 10 runs. It's like, well, if he throws me a 56-mile-an-hour curveball,
I still got to hit for average and make a living.
This is my job.
0-2 in the air, popped up, shallow center coming on, Actually going out is Ehrlich to make the catch, but Gibbs. I'm looking at the wrong side. Sorry. Crosstag makes the catch. Excuse me. I'm looking at the wrong side of my scorebook. Kalmbacher was on to make the catch, but Crosstag makes it out from shortstop. So I put P6 in my scorebook. What do you put?
Yeah.
Okay. Some people put, because he was out in the outfield, some people will put the F there for fly out.
You know, this is like my 4th game keeping score ever, so I'm still just learning how to keep it organized.
So you're a rookie.
Oh, I am more than that. Good pitch there. Got him out in front. A little off speed.
Chase Horton grounded out to second his last time up.
Again, Young's hanging in there. He's only given up one true hit.
Yeah, one of them was we have 2 hits down, but one of them could have been debated as an error.
It's he's battling. A couple base runners, and Crown Point's just capitalizing, I must say.
Hey, you figure a team that scored 13 yesterday coming here and only scoring 3 so far. And he barehand catches the ball coming back from the catcher.
I would take that as a win.
As the kids say, he's locked in.
As I would say.
He's not selling.
I said that a lot yesterday. We were at Lake Central yesterday for me and Jimmy McCormick on the call, and I said locked in a couple times. So,
and he was going, "Are you one of the kids? Like,
yeah.
Who are you?"
I'm like, Michael Bradner said the same thing to me too.
That's just because I'm around the kids too much.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
1-2 the count here on Horton.
Couple shakeoffs here from Young. Let's see what he wants something.
He's got an idea to put this batter away. 1-2 breaking ball on the ground, but it'll be foul. Picked up by the on-deck hitter, Linus Cheriton.
I like it. Couple shakeoffs to throw the couple little cheese there. I like it. Usually, when you see that many shakeoffs, you want to throw gas, but let's get him on front.
Upstairs, so 2-2. Count here as we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Two upstairs. As we mentioned already on this broadcast, a spectacular day for baseball. Sun shining, blue skies with some clouds ahead. Green turf.
Not terrible.
This one popped up on the right side. Coming in is Cole, and he'll camp under it and slap the leather together for out number 2.
Good at bat there, Horton. I think he was down 0-2 in the count, and then he battled back to full count. Obviously, you want to win that battle, but you got to go back to the dugout with some positive to take from that.
Linus Charrington coming up here now. Only strikeout victim from Young today. Looking to avenge that and get something going here. Maybe a little rally for Crown Point with 2 outs. First pitch in there for a strike, though. Talked about 8 retired in a row for Portage. 4 have been retired in a row for Crown Point.
Yeah, again, Young's hanging in there. He's playing well.
0-1 breaking ball missing outside.
Just looking for a little bit of run support on the other end, but again, we still got some ball to play.
Yeah, only inning number 4 of 7 in regulation.
Ooh.
Little chin music, making sure he's awake there in that batter's box. So 2-1. It's gets the senses moving a little bit quicker.
Definitely.
2-1. Foul tips it into the mitt, but it pops out. So 2-2. Sometimes when you hear that double smack, you might even turn around and say, wait, did I hit the glove?
Right.
Did my bat hit the glove? Is that catcher interference? But these guys want to hit. No, I don't want no catcher's interference.
Oh, yeah.
I want to rocket one out
Couldn't
to the
agree
left
more.
center gap. There is a huge gap out in left center. The left fielder playing very close to that line. 2-2. So it must be something that says either he's going to straight up pull it down to left field or going to hit it more to the right side.
Get another quality at bat here, working a full count. Big payoff pitch here coming out to potentially end the inning or keep it going for the Dogs.
Payoff pitch outside, so it's a 2-out walk.
batting is going to be second baseman Billy Chidsey.
So Billy Chidsey coming up here, grounded out to second his last time up. 2 for 5 in the series. Did drive in 2 yesterday. Can't ask for much more than that if you're Coach Strayer.
I mean, it was a hit parade for Crown Point yesterday. Again, the game's still young. We could see that again, but it's a respectable job by Portage so far to kind of contain those hot bats from last evening.
First pitch into Chidsey here. In for a strike. Young trying to get out of this inning unscathed. No runs across the board if he can. Keep it going to the 5th. 0-1. Count evens at 1. Chidsey coming in on the year, 5 extra base hits with 9 RBIs. Jerrington has not stolen a base this year, so not somebody I would keep my eye too closely on over at first. And that might be a balk as he stepped. Yep, that will be a balk, and the runner. Well, wait a minute, hold on.
Talk things over.
Did we call time at the plate? Is that? So the home plate umpire is pointing to the batter, so he may have called time. That may be where I wasn't watching the umpire first. I was watching the pitcher and kind of took that step and then didn't throw.
Right, I was looking at the runner.
So I was thinking a balk potentially, but apparently the batter called time. So 2-1 at the count. And that's kind of what stopped the momentum of Young on the bump. Surprisingly, that's not something that I see too often in a game. I know we had that back at the Steel Yard a couple of weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Not something that I've really seen too often live in a game. 2-1, rocketed up the middle and into center field for a base hit. So Chidsey gets his first knock of the series between these two teams. And this will bring up Trevor Gibbs, so the lineup keeps on moving for the Bulldogs.
Chance for a 2-out rally here. That's all it takes, and Gibbs had a solid at-bat. Again, 4-pitch walk to open up the 3rd inning. I bet he's going to be patient here, work the count, and potentially get a pitch to hit, or could draw another walk.
Well, even at the very least for Crown Point, it turns your lineup over after this. First pitch into Gibbs. This one popped up off to the right, giving chase as Archer, but he's going to run out of real estate.
Free souvenir for the construction workers. Probably bumped into one somewhere around here.
Soccer field's off to our right. Football field kind of to our back left.
Softball right behind us, too.
The 0-1. Missing outside. So the count evens at 1 here. Gibbs coming in 273 on the year. Took a walk his last time up and got a stolen base. So, he's got a little bit of speed. 1-1. Missing upstairs.
Yeah, he's patient. He gets on base. He 500 OBP, so he's patient. He'll pick his pitch, and if you can't find the zone 4 times, he'll make you pay.
Cody Young trying to get out of this inning with no damage done. 2-1. Just missing outside off the plate. So the count 3-1 now. You can put him on, and then that creates a force at any base. So it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but it turns back to the top of the lineup for Crown Point with Farinelli.
Got to throw a strike here. Simple as that. Put it across the plate.
3-1 pitch. And it's upstairs, so another walk. Second of the inning.
Next up, back to the top of the order, is going to be number 13, Ashlyn Farinelli.
So bases loaded here for the Bulldogs. Bottom of the 4th inning with 2 away.
Farinelli looking to get his first hit of the day. This wouldn't be a bad time to get it.
And we'll have a meeting on the mound here with Cody Young. Gives us a chance to tell you about our awards we're going to hand out at the end of this one. We've got that Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game. Crowd Company is proud to recognize the superheroes on the baseball diamond. We've got the proud Union Home Player of the Game presented by the Region Sports Network, and then the final award is our Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, earned while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374.
No action in the bullpens yet. I'd imagine if there's any sort of pitching changes today, it could very well be a switch. Still no action. Obviously, both pitchers pitching pretty well, especially the man at bat here for Crown Point. But we'll have to see. This is obviously probably the biggest at bat of the game. Big momentum shift here for either side that both teams desperately need.
So meeting over, and this will bring up, again, Farinelli here with 2 outs, bases loaded. Trying to get some more insurance runs across the board for the Bulldogs. First pitch, in there for a strike. I was going to say that's kind of been where the umpire has been calling it as a strike. And he does call it.
It's a good location. Make the call. That's it. Put him in a spot.
On the ground, short roller picked up by Young. He'll flip to. Is it a foul ball? Oh. Must have been a foul ball. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. He's not handing the ball off. Like, are we not having a quarterback exchange here? What's going on? Holy cow.
Yeah, I did not hear the foul. The foul call.
I did not hear that either.
What are we doing here? Yeah, we got to force it home. So
I think some hearts were stopping for a moment.
Yeah, even in the press box too. A couple of us.
They got us. Young kicks and fires the 0-2. This one lifted out to center. Kalmbacher is there to make the catch in center to retire the side. So we go to the 5th. Still 3-0 Bulldogs. You're watching Game Night of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Mayor Pete Land of the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog Athletics and say, go Bulldogs! Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth. Registration is now open for our spring and summer 2024 Crown Point Athletics programming. For a complete list of adult and youth activities, visit crownpoint.in.gov for more information.
You know, one thing I miss about like doing production or camera is that I could sing to the song that is on the PA. Like they were just playing Freebird, and it took every ounce of energy to not, participate in singing the song. As Zach Miller was next to me, fully bobbing his head and singing along, and I'm like, oh my gosh, love the tunes here, love the environment here.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, good vibes.
I will tell you that I am not opposed to you singing on the broadcast. You can put that as a compilation for.
Okay.
Any broadcasts that you may want to send out. We can do a blooper reel of Mike singing on a broadcast.
Plenty of that.
Cody Young leads things off here in the 5th inning for Portage, and it's quickly 0-2 on him. A couple of pitches for strikes from Farinelli. Both pitchers were kind of in a groove at this point. 0-2, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 7. 9 in a row retired. And another 3 strikeouts in a row. He had a stretch of 4, now he's got another stretch of 3.
Yeah, he's dealing. There's no other way to put it. It's this Crown Point rotation. Again, they're going to take them far. I truly think so. They live and die by this rotation, in my opinion.
Lifted in the air, off to the right. Alexander on to make the catch. Just in front of first base there.
And he's got a good defense behind him. I mean, he's got guys that are reliable that they could make. There's not many unforced errors, on this diamond. They get the job done defensively, and if they have maybe a sloppy day at the plate, only plating 3 runs, they could still get the job done here today.
Swing and a miss from Ryan Bogue. Struck out his last time up. Trying to get something going here. Trying to get a base runner on for Portage. Could have gotten it on that way had he taken one, as my dad would say. We got ice. Rub some dirt on it. Be fine. Take that pitch.
We got some tire pellets. Rub some tire pellets on it.
Swing and a miss. 1-2. Well, my dad would have given me that third degree of saying, rub some dirt on it, because his basketball coach would have said the exact same thing. In fact, Coach Marcinek sitting right in the front row here behind home plate. A little off on that pitch, so 2-2. Coach Marcinek was a longtime coach over at Morton for the basketball side of things. Swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3 they go. 8 strikeouts on the night so far for Aslan Farinelli. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still in the 3-0 Crown Point. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Save for a healthy tomorrow with an HSA checking account from Tech Credit Union. It's a tax-advantaged way to save and pay for healthcare expenses. You'll enjoy no setup fee, no annual fee, and easy access to funds. Plus, you'll earn a better-than-competitive dividend rate, currently at 2.27% APY. Visit techcu.org, contact any branch, or call 800-276-8324 to learn more. Tech Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA. Rates may change without notice.
Welcome back to Game Night on the Region Sports Network. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Crown Point leading it 3-0. Mike, we talked about the facilities here at Crown Point High School. Crown Point, the hub city, has got amazing facilities all over the place, and a lot of cities do or teams do, but Crown Point definitely has worked some real magic around the city of Crown Point. I was just over at Legacy Fields this past weekend watching little 13U tournaments as well, just kind of getting to see kind of what's coming down the pipeline for a lot of programs around Northwest Indiana. Got to see teams from Crown Point, Lake Central District, the Cherville Shock, and Cedar Lake Cyclones, and the Crown Point teams, as I mentioned. So got to watch some good action over there at Legacy Fields as well. They've got a lot of really nice areas.
And we were quite familiar with what was the complex called where they had the Cal Ripken? Or was it the I forget the name of it. The astronaut. Yeah. That was the. I don't know. It's eluding me, but of course we were quite familiar with our coverage there of the Cal Ripken 10U World Series. They had this previous year, and to my understanding, they're having it again.
Yes, they have been selected as another site.
Right. It's always, again, from our experience, it was a super fun time there, and it's just a beautiful complex they got going over there just off the square.
Chopped on the ground. It'll be a foul ball. Noah Ehrlich back in. Playing here for Crown Point. Jerry Ross Park.
Jerry, I was going to say, yeah, okay. Yeah, you were the voice of it, man. You had a fan club in Australia. We had a team from Australia come over here. You were speaking to some Aussies at about 2 or 3 local time in the morning for them. It was it was all a fun week.
The mates were awake.
And then I know, again, it was super cool to see those teams. Again, some teams coming from Florida or Arkansas down south, wherever they're coming from, Hawaii, whatever, and they would do stuff around here. They'd go to Notre Dame, go to a Cubs, Sox game, whatever that may be, and it was super cool to them to really be grateful for what's around here in this area.
Ground ball to cross tag for out number 1. I think for me, there was a lot to take away from that whole event that Crown Point got to host, and I think for me, was leaving one of the games. I did a lot of the morning games or the early afternoon games, and I had to run out. I had somewhere I had to be, and as I'm on my way out, a boy from one of the Southern Florida teams stopped me and kind of just like with a look of awe in his face. He goes, "Are you one of the announcers?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And I felt really bad because I had to get out of there, and I felt really bad. I talked to him for a little bit. I didn't completely dismiss him, but I talked to him for just a little bit. But I felt bad about not getting to talk to him a little bit more. So I came back later that evening, and then got to bring him up after the game was over. Bring him up to our broadcast area. Got to put the headset on him. He got to experience that. And then the next day, we got to put him on the air, and he got to do a little play-by-play himself because he said he wants to be like the next like Mike Tirico.
It's so awesome.
There. It was really cool.
So awesome. And he was, again, I remember, I think I was in there. I think Miller and I both were in that broadcast room. He was, again, just talking about the stuff he did. Big Notre Dame fan, so he went to Notre Dame to check out their facilities and everything there. It was, again, just super cool to see, again, teams from all over the world, technically, with Australia coming. And just, again, so grateful for what, Chicago and all the, Crown Point, everything kind of in this northern Indiana / Illinois area. And which is why they'll be back again.
Line drive right to Crosstag, who loses it on the hop. So we're going to call that an E6.
Just a smoked ball there. It's a tough play. Again, you're going to your forehand play, and it's tough.
That was Leeming, by the way, who reaches first. Now I'm going back to look and
again, big back here. Logan Cotton, obviously a fantastic pitcher. Going into this year, he's got a 1.41 ERA in 8 appearances, 5-1 and 34 and 2/3 innings pitched. Obviously going to Bloomington. He's only a junior, but he showed today, again, that first inning double to right center field. He's got a bat on him, too.
Tommy DiDonato was that young man's
I knew
name,
DiDonato. I was going to say DiDonato was. I thought that rang a bell. That was the name, and yeah, just super cool. Again, good gesture by your part. We were all just kind of, if I'm Tommy in that case and I'm going home to Florida, I'm telling all my, hey, watch this game. I was on the call.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just memories like that it's super fun to see all those kids experience.
And the thing that impressed me the most, and I know it kind of impressed pretty much everyone, is we have a runner down to second, one hop, and it's going to actually hit the runner and not make it all the way over to DeGracia. So a stolen base here for Leeming. I was impressed, and I know a lot of the guys up there as well. He had no fear. He put that headset on, and he started talking.
Yeah.
At one point, I was sitting there looking, and I'm like, uh-oh, wait a minute, hold on.
I know. I'm still freaked out about putting on a headset, let alone, if you had me 10 years earlier or whatever, like the age he was, again, 10 years old. It's kudos to him. He was out in the open, and, obviously, hopefully, maybe he's watching this, a couple months later.
Drive into right center. This will likely score a run. They are sending him. The ball kicks away from DeGracia, but Cotton can't advance past first base, so it's an RBI single for Cotton and his second RBI of the game. And that gives him 7 on the year now. As you mentioned, he's got some pop in that bat.
Definitely 2 hard hit balls on that right side of the outfield. He's just got a big frame. But he, again, being that tall, you have a wider strike zone. It's, pitchers may take advantage of you, but he's been fantastic in his 3 at bats so far.
Logan Hatt is going to go run for Cotton.
Logan Hatt is going to be running here for Logan.
Still no action in the bullpens. I'd imagine, again, game's getting a little bit later. I'd imagine a switch at some point. We do not have the exact pitch count at this rate, but it's getting up there for both sides, I'd like to say.
Chopped on the ground, but it's fouled on the first base line. Talking about Hatt, Logan Hatt's dad is a big influential part of that whole Cal Ripken World Series over there at Jerry Ross Park. So
that's right, and we're thankful for again, that whole week, again, who was it? Who was the main guy that did, kind of the whole thing? Rittenhouse, right? Or White House?
Yes.
Whoever the director
Yeah,
of
the
that
director
all was
over there, yeah.
It was just a fun week. Again, of course, Hat, you mentioned, was a big part of it. We always talked about on the broadcast, it was a lot of moving parts, obviously, to have all these teams come in and, even a rain delay. A lot of games got pushed back. Having something like that and push everything back, it was just a fun week.
Popped up into foul territory, giving chase and making the catch is Bogue in foul territory for out number 2. By the way, we are at about 88 pitches now for Young.
87, you said?
88.
Wow.
I will preface by saying that is an unofficial number. I'm just watching Game Changer. So Chase Horton with a throw down to first. Ball gets away. Hat making his way down to second. Makes a little turnaround second, but he's going to stay there. Hat also was a member of that football team that went down to state this past year. It's the QB2 on that team.
Again, I love all the dual athletes. Crown Point pushes it unlike anybody else. We just looking at that football team, they got a state champion discus and shot put thrower, state champion wrestlers. They got some quality baseball players. It's truly special how hard they push that.
Horton lifts one in the air off to the right side, giving Chase his archer, but it falls pretty much into the Portage dugout. That's one of the things, if you're over there, though, on that side, if you were to jump over the railing there, that you got your guys to support you.
Mm-hmm.
They'll catch you.
Hopefully.
Now, see, if you were to jump out the window over here, Zanelli will not catch you. He's going to let you just kind of fall right over there.
He's got to protect the camera.
He's got to
anyway,
protect the
so
camera, yes.
That's more valuable than me. So, and that's a tall ask to just, catch me. So I'll relieve him of those duties. Have him focus on the more important things like the camera.
I would catch you if I was on that side.
You could try. How do you say that?
I just may fall
just
with
attempt,
you.
Yep. Break my fall.
Horton fouls that one back to the screen, so 1-2 the count.
These two teams did meet in the playoffs last year too. Crown Point got the better of Portage, 4-2 in sectionals. Again, I wouldn't be surprised, again, looking at their matchups, kind of how the way the stars align, they could very well see each other in the championship.
Pitch missing outside, so the count evens at 2. Kind of going through another Strachanville hometown scoreboard update. Tight one over in St. John. Lake Central leading 2-1 over the Chesterton Trojans. And we talked about the Duneland Athletic Conference a little bit earlier. Normally during basketball season, we kind of talk about tiers. Like you have maybe your top 3, your middle 3, and bottom 3 or 4, or however you want to align it. Right now, the way the Duneland is kind of set, it's kind of organized right now. It's kind of above 500 or below 500, so it's kind of split in half. Like Central 6-3 on conference play, trying for their 7th win. It's important because Chesterton is at 7-2, and a win here would put them at 8-2. If Crown Point can also get a win, 8-2. I'll try to look up and see what Valpo's doing right now. They're taking on Maryville today.
Yeah, it's going to be a photo finish, to say the least. And we saw that same kind of photo finish with basketball. This too, boys basketball. Obviously, the LC girls ran away with that title, but boys basketball and the Duneland, I think that was a 4-way tie.
It was
Crown Point, Lake Central, Valpo, and Chesterton, I believe, or Portage might have been in that mix too. Nonetheless, it's always a competitive conference, and it's pretty sure. I mean, as an NCC guy, I could safely say the DAC is the most competitive conference, I'd say, out there.
Pitch misses outside. Jace Horton will take first base on the base on balls.
Now batting go to number 11, Linus Sheraton. And
Trying to click that to see, but that doesn't look like the right schedule, so not thinking that's it. I'll keep looking.
Yep. Game has slowed down a little bit. Obviously, we're tougher at bats. I think a lot of us were kind of impressed by how quick the game was going, and then
then you mentioned something. That's when it all went downhill.
It wasn't just
from
me. Don't even say that. This is not a one-man show.
Another Strike and Van Til hometown scoreboard update in the top of the fourth. Valparaiso on top of Maryville, 9-0 over in Maryville. So that would put Valpo at 9-1 in conference play if that lead holds, as Linus Charrington fouls that one away. So, your thoughts would be that if Valpo can continue on this run, and I'd have to look to see which teams they still have left. Looks like Michigan City and LaPorte. So those are two teams that are under 500 in their conference records. This one lined and will drop in right field. One run coming around. It's cut off in the middle over to third, and they throw it away out into left field. A second run coming in. 5-0. Or is it 6-0? 6-0 in favor of Crown Point here in the fifth.
Again, a nice red ball, and then again, you just got to feel that you can't make really many errors. Again, just like that. And again, we're talking about how well this Portage team has played defensively, and of course, Cody Young did a solid job on the bump. But just like that, a couple hit balls and a few errors, and this game kind of gets away from you in an instant.
So that's an E1 to score that sixth run, and allows the runner to get to second base as well. As Chidsey comes up here.
Doing damage with 2 outs, too. That's keeping the line moving, obviously, and when you need to hit the most, Crown Point's going to answer.
This one lifted out to left. Conrad out there giving chase and makes the catch. Loses his hat in the process, but gets the catch still. Keeps the ball in the mitt, which is the important thing for Portage there. But 6-0 as we go to the sixth inning. You're watching Game 9 of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Planting a tree, installing a fence, whether your project is big or small, NIPSCO reminds you to know what's below and contact 811 at least 2 full business days before doing any digging so that utility companies can mark the location of their underground lines. Contacting 811 is free and it's the law. Avoid possible penalties, costly repairs, or injuries. DIY or a pro, safety is in your hands. Every dig, every time.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Mike and Mike, Zach and Zach here with you from the Hub City, Crown Point, Indiana. Crown Point and Portage. We go to the top of the sixth inning. And just in case you didn't know, NIPSCO is proud to be powering the youth of Northern Indiana. NIPSCO is wishing its Northern Indiana high schools to have safe competition while displaying sportsmanship on and off the field. I feel like we do that. We display good sportsmanship on and off the field.
That's the goal.
On and off the broadcast area, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Mostly sportsmanship.
I try to be nice.
Yeah. It's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Well, when it's working with you and the Zacks, it's always great.
You're making me blush. The viewers can't see, but I am blushing.
Farinelli still dealing here for Crown Point. That one comes in on Conrad. He gets a piece of it. I believe it's 0-2 now, the count.
I don't know why I marked that a ball.
It might be 1-1. What do I know? Swing and a miss. And that'll be strike 3. That's the 9th strikeout for Farinelli on the day. That'll give him 49 strikeouts on the season. Next one is number 50 on the year.
Yeah, Portage comes into this game. They're kind of an aggressive ball club. They have going into this game, they had 123 strikeouts, only 87 walks. So they're looking to swing the bat, make some contact, but obviously today just not their day. Farinelli's, I mean, he's working them. He's making them victim of the K, and it's really showing for the Indians today.
Cross tag up here now. He's one of those strikeout victims. Bottom 3 of the order, Mike. 5 strikeouts. This one lifted down the right field line, but foul. So those bottom 3 hitters, 5 strikeouts with a 6th pending.
I don't know. You, again, beating a team like this, a hot team like Crown Point, you need production from 1 through 9. And, I mean, just put a ball in play, something. That's kind of what you want to ask for, productive out, at least. If you get out, make it productive, and it's, I don't know.
This one lifted into center, and this will drop in for a hit. First base runner since the 2nd inning for Portage. And it comes to Matthew Crosstag coming into this game, Mike, a $150 average. So just trying to find, as you've mentioned, just trying to find those ways to just get on base and keep working good at bats.
First hit of the game for the Indians, too. Again, it's unfamiliar territory, but they need to try and make these count. Whether they put a bunt down, move this guy over, or whatnot, they got to capitalize here because the game, again, it's escaped them.
6-0 the score as we stand right now here in the top of the 6th inning. So we do have to preface by saying that if, in the event Crown Point were to score 4 runs in the bottom of the inning, the way the score holds right now, the game would be over in 6th. So Portage trying to stop that to get to the full 7 innings they play in high school baseball. 1-1 the count here with Mark Kalmbacher, 0 for 2 today, 0 for 5 on the series.
Yeah, pretty solid hitter, too. Just, again, 2 tough pitching matchups. Of course, we keep harping on the Crown Point rotation. And Kalmbacher, a 3-year starter. You know, he's hitting for a career, 365, 54 hits, 22 RBIs. I mean, he's a solid piece of this puzzle, but it's just been a rough series for him so far.
Throwing over to first. Back safely. Cross tag. Doesn't need to get crossed up over there at first base, so not taking too many liberties. I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say he's not going to be really a threat to run because he's got to worry about getting these guys on base. Don't want to get thrown out on the base path.
No, base runners have been tough to come by, and you want to keep them all on base as long as possible. So I wouldn't suspect a steal here yet.
Payoff pitch coming. This one lifted in the air to left. Lehman giving chase and makes the catch. Out and left.
Again, I mean, that's what I call productive out. Again, it's, of course, you want that ball to drop. You want to keep the line moving and try and start a rally, but it's a well-hit ball, and someone just happened to be there.
So this will bring up Connor Archer, also 0 for 2 on the day. Another solid hitter. Comes across that 286 average. So we may have a little bit of stirring going on in the Crown Point bullpen, or at least guys walking in that direction, it looks like maybe.
We got 15 in there. Let me take a look, see if we get a name for that for Crown Point.
That'll be Jackson Fronick.
There you go. Switching up, they got a lefty. He's a lefty pitcher, so never got a called strike there.
0-2 to Archer.
No action in Portage's pen. Still maybe rolling with Young for, who knows, potentially his last inning of work.
Little bloop into right. It's going to be short hop by Chinsey, who can't grab it, so it's going to be a bloop hit for Archer.
Hey, we'll take it.
So 2 on, 2 out here in the 6th inning, trying to get a little rally going, a little something. And this will bring up Devin Ortiz, 0 for 1 on the day. Does have a walk to his credit. Definitely One of the high RBI guys on this team. 16 RBIs for their catcher in the 3-hole here.
Again, I don't want to be aggressive here. You want to be patient. You want to work this at bat. Find a pitch you like. Again, I'd like to imagine it's going to be a first pitch strike here, though, so you got to just play your cards right on both sides.
Farinelli with those lime green shoes trying to get out of this inning. This one on the ground, but foul. Those things do stand out, don't they?
Yeah. Sight for sore eyes, they say.
That's what happens when I see Doug Nelson.
Yeah. You and me both.
Oh, 1 to Ortiz. Comes up near the head area there. Going to be ball number 1. So Ortiz looking to try to pick something out here to drive it, score that first run for Portage. He's got a little bit of gap in right center. Center fielder playing to the left side from our vantage point of the second base bag. This one goes into the Portage, or right in front of the Portage dugout. Definitely giving him some space down that right field line as well. Brazzino playing pretty far away from that line.
Yeah, a little bit of a mini shift there in the outfield. Obviously, they see him as a pull hitter.
So Ortiz going to step out, kind of gather his thoughts here. Now, climbs back in. Farinelli deals. This one lifted into right center, and this will be caught out in right center by Brazzino. A couple of nice catches for him in this game today. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 6-0 Crown Point. You're watching Game Night of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
The Athletic Performance Factory is Northwest Indiana's premier athletic training center. The 40,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility features batting cages, a sand training room, a new outdoor turf infield, and so much more. Check out the facility for one of their daily classes at 3150 45th Street in Highland. Interested in signing up for team workouts or individual lessons? Check out their website at trainapf.com or contact them at 219-750-1087. Athletic Performance Factory, where athletes are made.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Mayor Pete Land of the Crown Point Pace Department are proud to support Crown Point Bulldog Athletics and say, go Bulldogs! Crown Point remains dedicated to preserving history, celebrating everyday life, providing the best in-city services, and encouraging smart growth. Registration is now open for our spring and summer 2024 Crown Point Athletics programming. For a complete list of adult and youth activities, visit crownpoint.in.gov.
Leading off for Crown Point, it's going to be Gibbs, then Farinelli, then Ehrlich. Again, Gibbs, he just works at bats. We've seen it so far. He's got 2 walks. He's patient.
Mike, do we have a new pitcher on the bump for?
Oh, it looks like we do. Good eye.
23?
Mr. Bradner. 23 would be Hunter Cole of Portage.
So Hunter Cole now on to pitch for the Portage Indians. Not sure. I'll have to look and see if there's any other changes for Portage.
He's a sophomore right-hander. Hunter Cole is.
So he's trying to shut down this lineup. If Crown Point were to score 4 in this inning, though, ball game over. First pitch into Gibbs is missing for ball 1. Mike, you are working with a guy who has called a walk-off hit in the top of an inning in a softball game one time.
I've heard that.
Of course, you've heard that story
plenty of times from our old friend.
Nathan loves that
Laird.
story.
Yep.
Yeah, did it right here in this facility on the softball fields. In my defense, not that there's much for it. The event was at Crown Point. How Crown Point was the visitors on the scoreboard, so naturally I'm thinking I'm at Crown Point. Crown Point's playing against Valpo.
The ever-elusive top-of-the-inning walk-off.
Yeah, those
don't see it often.
No. Yeah, I remember going berserk, and I believe we had a commenter that said that we're making me close to Steve Harvey.
Hey, Bradner.
Well, they were calling me Steve Harvey, like when he gave the crown to the wrong Miss title or whatever that was.
Or that the Oscars moment with La La Land and, that one too.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. Hey,
3-1, Gibbs fouls it away. Oh, nice play by Strayer.
Still got it.
He's got it.
The Hall of Famer still got it at the hot corner.
He was like, yeah, okay, I got it. 3-2. And that's going to be low. Leadoff walk. Start things up here in the 6th for Crown Point.
Impressive. Again, good day at the plate. That OBP is going up for sure.
As I say, Trevor Gibbs, no hits, but he's gotten on base all 3 plate appearances, all 3 via the base on balls.
Some would say that's blue collar. Could be in contention for our awards tonight. The blue collar player of the game is one of them.
And if we were given an award for company guy, that would be our sports director, Mike Dewan.
Yes,
always
sir.
tying it back into the...
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
Gibbs, stolen base earlier, has that speed. Again, he's a big kid, obviously, middle linebacker on the football field as well as an H-back, but he could move.
Does have a stolen base already in this one today. 3rd of the year. This one ticketed out to center. Kalmbacher going back. Kalmbacher watches it jump over his head and go to the wall. Gibbs motoring around. He's going to be sent to the plate. Here comes the throw home. It's a one-hopper that gets cut off, and it's an RBI triple for Farinelli.
Oof. I mean, that was, as you said, ticketed. Again, a great bat that struggled at the plate today as great as he has been on the bump. He wanted that one. And that was that could very well be almost a nail in the coffin here for the Indians.
7-0 with a runner on third. Nobody out, and here comes Noah Ehrlich. So Cole will have to wait as Ehrlich steps out. So Cole coming into work in relief for Portage. First pitch into Ehrlich, ticketed right up to second. A big hop over to first, and they get him in time. A nice play by Crosstag, 6-3 on the putout, but it does score a run, so it's an RBI ground out for Ehrlich, and that makes it 8-0.
Just doing your job. That's it. You got a guy in third, put the ball in play. Tough chopper. Can't get the play at home. Just what you do. Good baseball.
Try to look and see. Just a moment. See what these schedules look like for both these teams coming up here. A
lot of excitement is what I could say, what I can predict.
This one popped up right side. Archer trying. He's made a lot of great attempts at it, and that one probably was his best opportunity, but it falls in the Portage dugout.
Another photo finish in the Duneland is really close to happening. It's going to be a fun next 3 weeks for the end of this regular season, getting into gearing up for some playoff baseball.
It feels like baseball season goes so much quicker than the other sports. I mean, obviously football 9 weeks, basketball feels like it goes on for an eternity. I mean, after the coaches and the players, as this one popped up, shallow right behind the shortstop as Crosstag comes down with that one. So 2 away here in the 6th.
No, I agree. I mean, this is honestly my first really full season with you guys covering baseball and softball. And when I found out that the sectional draw was this previous Sunday, I'm like, wow. And then in 20 days, we're playing playoff baseball and softball. It's good pitch. Oh, I thought he got him there,
Yeah,
but
that
again,
breaking ball missing.
I mean, it moves quick. They play 3, 4, sometimes more than 5 games in a week. If they got a tournament like that on a Saturday, it moves quick.
Well, and I wonder, too, just from my perspective and for a lot of people, you're at the end of the school year as well. Like you're playing in the final months of a school year, and everybody's just itching for summer that much quicker, so it just feels like it goes a little bit faster potentially.
That's a good point.
I've talked all season. I've tried to embrace it more this year than I have in the past while calling games, really enjoying the finality of a lot of seasons through sports. I mean, football season, you kind of forget, like, seniors are playing their final games on the gridiron. And then here is kind of where it feels more because you're at that end of the school year. Graduation talks are going on.
Sure.
So it just feels a little bit more complete at this point. But trying to enjoy those finalities when it comes for senior years for a lot of those guys. All right, we go to the 7th inning. Portage trying to get last-ditch efforts here to get something going. You're watching Game Night of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
How far would you go to live another game night in the region? Well, lucky for you, you don't have to go far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of over thousands of games, ranging from last week to the 1960s. Now, you can relive the thrilling victories, heartbreaking defeats, and all the things that make Region Sports so great. Talk to us here at RSN and help us remember the region. Please visit Remember the Region with the link on the screen or through our link tree found on all of our social media platforms. Hashtag Remember the Region.
We go to the 7th inning here in Crown Point. Bulldogs all over the Portage Indians 6-0, but Portage trying to get something going here in this 7th inning, but they will have to do it against a new pitcher for Crown Point. Bryce Schuster is on for the Bulldogs to close this one out.
Again, it's just, another person in line, another arm in line for this solid Crown Point rotation from top to bottom. They got to still finish games, and this hasn't really been much of an issue for them this season so far.
Not a save situation with it being 6-0, but he does have a save on the year. Scheduled hitters for Portage here in the top of the 7th. It'll be Kyle Ketchum, Cody Young, and Cole Hunter. Now, Cody Young was lifted in the bottom of the 6th inning for pitching, so we'll see if he does bad in his position. So leading off here, Kyle Ketchum 0 for 2 on the day. 0 for 5 in this series between the Indians and the Bulldogs. Again, if Crown Point can hold on, certainly a big... I'm sorry, I said 6-0 tonight. It's 8-0, excuse me. 8-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. Picking up win number 8 in conference play would be huge. They still have to play Lake Central, I believe. I'll look at their schedule here. In conference play. They've got Chesterton, they've got Lake Central. So they've got some tough opponents coming up here. Lake Central and Chesterton, those are two of the top teams in the Duneland. If we look at the top half of the Duneland, and this one across the diamond, can't get it there in time, can't get the pick, is Alexander. So we call that a leadoff hit? It was going to be pretty bang-bang. All right, we'll call it a hit.
I'd say so. That's a tough play for Ehrlich.
No, they ruled it an error down there.
Okay.
Or whoever's ruling it. I don't know who's ruling those. Scoreboard said error.
Error it is.
Error it is.
That was going to be nice, but...
So an E6 on that one on Ehrlich. That'll be error number 6 on the year for him. Let's see here, was this 18? Yep, this is still Cody Young. So first pitch into Young. Upstairs for ball 1. Crown Point would like to turn 2 and get this double play to get a little closer to ending this one here. Portage wants to score 8 runs, put up an 8 spot here in the 7th.
Rally caps are on for the Indians.
I think Schuster's going to have something to say about that, though. That pitch missing just low for a ball. So 2-1. On the ground, left side. Ehrlich with a chance to toss, and it'll go over for 2. It won't be able to turn 2, but they get the lead runner on the 4-6 put out, and then a fielder's choice for Young.
That works too.
You get one.
Get the lead runner, get the more dangerous one. So.
Yeah. One's better than none. This will bring up Hunter Cole.
Next up, Portage will be at Lake Central on the 7th. That again, another, as we mentioned, that these ever so important Duneland games this late in the year, and then Crown Point they're gonna play Mishawaka this Saturday, and I believe they would have Ileana Christian later that day, according to Max Preps. That's what I saw on the schedule. But yeah, Crown Point, busy weekend for them. Although it's non-conference, that's some quality opponents. Again, Mishawaka and of course Ileana Christian, the fantastic program they got going on over there.
Yeah, Portage will have Lake Central next week. At Portage on Tuesday the 7th, at Lake Central Wednesday the 8th.
Gotcha.
And Crown Point will have Chesterton next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Home on Tuesday against Chesterton, and then at Chesterton on Wednesday the 8th.
Do they play this Saturday too? Is that the game changer? Yeah.
Yeah.
The couple DAC matchups though next week, of course.
I was just looking at the DAC matchups. Yeah, but they do have Mishawaka at 10 a.m. here, and they also have it says Ileana too, but I don't know if that's. They might have a doubleheader.
Saw those at 4:00, I think. But
it does say that.
Maybe not take us up.
Do they have a doubleheader this Saturday, Mishawaka and Ileana?
Yep.
Okay, so that's what Crown Point's got, the doubleheader against Mishawaka and Ileana.
Ileana, we caught a game of theirs this year at the Steel Yard. Hanover got the best of them in that, from what I remember.
Back-to-back state champion, Ileana.
Yeah.
2-2 here on Hunter Cole. One away here in the top of the 7th inning. Crown Point trying to close the door. Lifted in the air, off to the right. Brazino giving chase, getting close to that line, and he'll make the catch in fair territory.
Outfielders getting some work in today, I must say.
And it's not easy. They are looking directly into the sun.
Yeah. Kudos to all 6 outfielders today. Portage, there was a lot of fly balls to them too, and not too many mental lapses on the outfield, I must say.
And depending on which angle I sit at, I'm also looking into the sun with the reflection off the window over here.
It's hard enough
but nobody cares about my struggles. Bogue up here now. He struck out both times. Both plate appearances.
Oh, I got him on the pickoff.
Oh, going on down to second now, and he is going to be safe down at second. Thought they had that pickoff attempt, but coming up with it.
Aggressive, but I like it. What do you have to lose?
Strike until hometown scoreboard update for you. Lake Central does defeat Chesterton for another conference win, 3-1.
It's a big win.
It is a big win for the Indians. And a pivotal loss for Chesterton. That puts them in that 3-loss column now. Swing and a miss. And then looking at Valpo and Maryville here, waiting for that. That's in the bottom of the 5th inning. Maryville trailing 13-0. And that'll end the game down here as we have the put out down at first base after the strikeout, 2-3 put out. That's the 10th strikeout of the day for Crown Point pitching, so that'll wrap things up. Crown Point wins it 8-0, but we've got awards to hand out at the end of this one. Mike, do you want to take a break, or do you want to go ahead and go right into them?
I think you and I could huddle up and talk it over a break. So.
Okay, we'll take a break for just a moment. You're listening to Game Night of the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Welcome back to Game Night here on the Region Sports Network. Crown Point with the 8-0 victory over the Portage Indians. Crown Point picks up their 8th win in conference play here in the Duneland. And we'll take a look at the meat of the matter here, brought to you by the Region Sports Network. Mike, I would say overall pitching was just a dominant force for Crown Point, as it has been really a lot this season. Just a lot of good pitches and a lot of timely defensive plays for Crown Point in this one.
Again, a solid performance by Fairnelli on the bump, and when you got guys behind him that can make plays, it's a recipe for success. And then when you have a team that's a little bit more aggressive at the plate like Portage is, again, we talked about those strikeout numbers in comparison to the walk numbers. It's, the pitcher's kind of licking their chops in this way. They want to get ahead of the count, and they want to strike batters out. And as you kind of progress through that game and you have that success going into the 4th and 5th inning, those hitters of Portage, they become a little bit more antsy and a little bit ticked off that someone out there is wheeling and dealing like Fairnelli was, and they want to swing even more. So it's just the game got away from him. Again, they battled through the first 4 innings, and then a 3 and a 2 spot in the 5th and the 6th. It just got away from him. And again, Portage, we talked about this is a team that's going to fight. Again, that they're matching. They've matched their conference and season win totals from a year ago, and I bet they're going to string out a couple more games as the season winds down. But it's this Crown Point team, man. Again, they're wheeling and dealing, and it just all starts with the pitching, like you mentioned.
All right, that's been the meat of the matter presented by the Region Sports Network. Let's go ahead and take a look at our award winners. We've got the Crow Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. We have offices open 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
I think we got to go with superhero. I think it's simple. We can go with Crown Point's pitcher, Azalin Fairnelli, the senior, the 5'11" right-handed senior. Again, wheeling and dealing. That's it. He made those Portage hitters very antsy. I think he finished with 8 Ks, 9 Ks. He had a lot, and just another day at the office for him. And again, just adding to that win total for Crown Point for so far what's been a magical season for that rotation and just this team in general.
49 strikeouts on the season for Farinelli. Also had a big RBI triple as well in the 6th inning. Let's take a look at our blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org.
We're going to take it with Cody Young of Portage. He was a starter for today. Again, he just like a lot of the vast majority of this Portage team, they battled defensively. They made a lot of plays in the outfield, but of course, he was the one pitching. He was the one calling all the shots, and he did a great job. A lot of poise from the sophomore. Going into a game, a team that scored 13 runs against you yesterday, a team that's chomping at their bit to just see any pitch to hit, and he did a respectable job. And you got to give kudos to him. That's blue collar-esque. Going into the game against a team that is hot as can be, and putting up a respectable performance. So shout out to Cody, and again, only a sophomore. He's got a bright future here, not only on the baseball diamond, but of course on the gridiron as well.
Fun to watch today. Now let's take a look at our Proud Union Home play of the game presented by the Region Sports Network.
They got Crown Point. They got the thing started in the 1st inning. We had to give it to the double from Logan Cotton. Again, just roped out to right center. One of the hardest hit balls of the day, and they got Crown Point on the board. And They ended up kind of coasting their way towards this W. They kept the hit parade going a little bit in the first, kind of slowed down. They were a little sporadic, and then they eventually turned things up in the 5th and the 6th. But, again, the bats kept going. Logan Cotton, of course, going to Bloomington in 2 years. Fantastic pitcher, but he really showed his prowess today with the bat as he was the DH today.
All right, it's been a fun one. Our executive producer is Chris Ramirez. Our operations manager is Rich Castillo. Our coordinating producer and also our producer on site today, Zach Miller, along with our sports director and my broadcast partner today, Mike DeWan. We've got Zach Sinelli doing a great job on camera as well. Big thanks to coaches Shane Prance and Steve Strayer for Portage and CP, respectively, for getting us everything we needed for the game today. And, of course, Brett St. Germain and Bill Derula, the ADs for both schools, for helping us out as well. And then, of course, you, the viewers, on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever else we're streaming, regionsports.com and all over the internet. Who knows where we're at? We're probably in Australia, probably still somewhere as well.
Your fan club.
So thank you very much for tuning in. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So thank you very much. Plenty more baseball, softball coverage on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.